Now, if you're having any trouble getting high kill games, dropping tactical nukes, increase your KD, or trying to get better at the game, I have found the new best controller settings that you need to copy down here in Black Ops 6 Season 3 right now. So if you guys are new and find this video help you out in any way, make sure that like button, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and let's get into it. Now, I do want to mention before we get into our settings, it does not matter what console you're playing on, it does not matter what controller you're playing on. If you copy my settings down, I do promise it is going to make you a better player here. And also, if you are on PlayStation, at the end of my video, I will show you my controller settings. I am running the Edge controller, so I will show you my settings, and also I'll show you the new sound settings that they added in PlayStation 5 update. I will show you the settings as well if you guys want to watch that as well here. But getting into my settings, for the first thing that we're going to be talking about most importantly is going to be our sensitivity, our vertical and horizontal sensitivity, which I went with 1.65. I don't need to change this. I will say, if you are new to my channel, if you are watching this video and never seen a settings video on my channel, I'm going to tell you this: you need to copy down settings and you do not need to change them. One thing that is making you a bad player or not making you better is you constantly are changing your settings and you're not getting used to them. So I will tell you, if you're watching this video, change it to 1.65 and never change it again. I know there's so many settings videos out there, but I'm telling you, 1.65 is some of the best settings that you can copy down for your sensitivity for both vertical and horizontal. So 1.65 should be your go-to. Now, dropping down to my controller vibration, we're going to go ahead and turn this off. Now, this is one of those small things in Call of Duty that can make you a better player. It can make you a worse player. It can make you lose gunfights. It can make you win gunfights. Turning this off, your controller's not going to go spazzing like crazy. Gun shootings, explosions, door bashing, just everything in this game causes a vibration. You don't want to be in a gunfight. Your controller start vibrating. It throw your aim off. I'm telling you, turn this off. It may take some time to get used to. Maybe an hour, maybe a few games. Get used to this, and I'm telling you, it will make you win more gunfights and make you a better player, so go ahead and turn off your controller vibration. If you need help with any challenge in Black Ops 6, make sure to check out Damn Mods. They can help you with any challenge in the game, from game challenges, maxing weapons out, to even unlocking mastery camos. They are trusted by thousands of customers, and you can save up to $100 using code Paradox at checkout. Link will be in the description. Now, this is really important, our Deadzone inputs here. Now, this also just really depends how healthy your controller is. Do you have stick drift? You might have to turn some of these settings up here, but if you have a nice, healthy controller, you don't have stick drift or anything like that, these are going to be the best settings for you. They're going to be best for the movement, best for your aim, best for your triggers. My left stick here, the minimum is going to be 1. We want that to be super sensitive to activate movements, make it easier for us to move. My max is going to be 60 here, so it's going to be easier to trigger the movement, so I don't have to fully push up to start a run or a walk or anything like that. So this is going to help out a lot with the omni movement. Now, for my right stick, we have the minimum at 2. I don't want my aim to be moving by itself. With, putting it at 1 would make it have like stick drift. I do not want that. I want to be able to aim at my own pace and everything. I don't want my controller to be moving by itself or anything, so we're keeping it at 2, but also this is going to help out a lot, just snapping onto targets, making your aim a lot better, winning more gunfights and everything from snapping. And we're going to keep our right stick at 99. You do not want to change this here. And then for my L2 and R2 Deadzone buttons, we're going to have this as 0-0. If you shoot with the bottom triggers here, this is going to allow you to be able to shoot faster, in my opinion, aim down sights faster, because you're not having to press down on your triggers as hard as you used to if you have it at default. So we're just going to keep this at 0-0. Now, we're going to jump over here to our aiming settings here next, and we're going to keep a lot of these settings the same, where there's not really much that we need to change. So our ADS sensitivity multiplier is going to be 0.70, and our multiplier focus is going to be at 0.70 as well. So if you're holding your breath as a sniper, if you're using a gun, just aiming down sights in general, just keep this at 0.70. I like to say this as well: if you are using target aim assist, you should be if you're on controller. Having this at 0.70 is going to allow you to track targets easier. In my opinion, it makes you have better accuracy, in my opinion, and also snap onto different targets as well a lot easier. So having this at 0.70 is going to help out a lot, just tracking your targets, keeping your aim on your targets and everything. So put this at 0.70. Now, for our aiming advanced settings here, there's only 2 things that I want you to change. If you don't have these changed already, you need to put it on instant. So as soon as we aim down sights, while we're aiming down sights, our ADS sensitivity multiplier is going down to 0.70 instantly. That's what we want. Gradual is by default, so make sure you are changing this from gradual to instant. that's what you want here. And also our aim response curve type, we're putting this at linear. I'm not going in depth with it. I think this is the best aim response curve type in the game. Some people will disagree, some might agree, but I'm telling you, linear is super good in this game. And also our slope scale for our aim response curve type is going to be a 0.80. In my opinion, it just makes my aim a lot better, and I'm sure you've seen the gameplays for me to back that up. My aim in this game is immaculate. I just don't know what it is. My aim is super good in this game, and I feel like this is a big help with my gameplay. Now, of course, we do want to have target aim assist on. If you are on controller, play with target aim assist. There is no need to play with no target aim assist. Now, I'm not going to lie, sometimes after updates and hot fixes, some of your settings get turned on and off. So you might have to go check, you know, every other week or something after updates or hot fixes, just in case your target aim assist was turned off. It's happened to me before, so make sure you're going through and make sure this is on. This is very important for a controller player, so make sure to have this on. And then there's only one thing that I want you to change in your motion sensor advanced settings. Now, I'll be completely honest, I don't know if this is on Xbox. I know it's on PC and I know it's on PlayStation, so it should be on Xbox, but one thing that you need to change is going to be your FOV sensitivity scaling. You need to put this off, so make sure to have that off. That is very important. Now, we're going to jump into our movement settings here next, and we have our sprint assist. We're going to make sure to have tactical sprint assist on. Our sprint assist, a delay is on 0. This is a console thing. You cannot change it to 1 or anything. We're going to have our assist sideways and backwards on as well, so it's going to be easier to run backwards and sideways and everything for the Omni movement, so make sure to have these things on. Now, we're going to have corner slicing on. I like the corner slicing in this game. Some people don't. I do personally. If you are looking around a corner with the corner slicing on your screen, on the other enemy screen, it's not going to show you leaning over. So you're going to get free, easy, cheesy kills. That's what I like to call it here. So make sure you have on corner slicing. Now, we have our tap to dive on slide and dive behavior. Now, for me, I like to dive a lot out of gunfights. You know, if I'm getting chased at, if I'm really weak and I need to get out of somewhere, or a grenade, I can just tap my circle button or my paddle on my back of my controller and just dive and get out of the gunfights. And also, if you are a person that likes to do the sliding to the prone really quick, I know a lot of pro players are doing that, and after this update they actually did not fix that, so you have to use tap to dive, and I think you can only use slide only or tap to dive to be able to do the slide to prone. I'm not exactly sure, but I know with tap to dive I'm able to still do it, so I'm just keeping it tap to dive. That's all I really need here. There's nothing that we need to change in our combat settings, so we're going into our graphic settings next, and make sure if you're on 120 Hz refresh rate, make sure to have this on. This is very important. You want your game to look super smooth, and just, you want that quality, man. Quality is always a good thing to have in game because it can make you play better. I mean, just having a nice smooth game will always make you play better. So make sure to have this on if you have it. Now, for my gamma, I just kept this at 50. I do not want my game looking any gammy-ish, blurry-ish. I do not want that, so make sure to keep this on 50. Now, for my quality, we're going to have our world and weapon motion blur off. Same with our depth of field. We do not want our game looking blurry looking while we're aimed down sight, spinning around, looking around. We don't want our gun looking blurry. We do not want the game looking blurry or anything. So make sure to have these 3 things off. Fidelity cast, we're going to have this on. This is going to help the game look sharper, more clean and everything. And then for our strength for fidelity cast, you're going to put this on 70. Do not go any higher than 70. It's going to make the game look too sharp, too grainy, too sandy looking. We do not want that. 70 is perfect. This has been my setting since I got back on console. There is no need to change it any higher than 70. Now, for my details and textures, we have our on-demand texture streaming. We have optimize. This is going to help out a lot with your quality and everything on console. So you're going to have it on optimize, so you're always downloading the highest quality texture. And then we're going to have our cache size. We're going to have this on the largest possible. So I don't really know if this plays a part in your internet speeds. I don't know if it's storage-wise, but having these on optimize and large is going to make your textures always downloading in-game. So your game is going to look a lot better. And make sure you do not have any limits on your downloads. So this is going to help out a lot with that quality. So go ahead and have these on optimize and large and off. Now, we have our view settings here. We're going to jump down to our field of view FOV at 115. The human eye is not going to tell the difference between the 120 and 115. Do not max out at 120 just because sometimes You can get some input delay. We do not want to risk that whatsoever, so we're not going to put it at 120. And again, your eyes are not going to tell the difference between 115 and 120. I am telling you. So just keep it at 115. ADS field of view, weapon field of view, we're going to put this on affected and wide. So what this is going to do is while we're aimed down sights, our camera isn't going to zoom in. That's what independent does. And if a weapon has a lot of visual recoil, a lot of gun kick or something like that, the affected with the camera isn't zooming in is not going to be that bad. So if any muzzle flash, visual recoil, or anything like that is crazy on a weapon, it's not going to be as bad. Same with the weapon field of view, having it on wide, making the weapon look smaller. Any visual recoil, muzzle flash, any crazy firing SMGs or any gun in the game, it's not going to look as bad. So if you see a video of me having like no recoil in my builds or anything like that, this does play a huge part with them not looking like they have much recoil compared if you're running like affected and like, you know, default or narrow. This does have a huge help in your gameplays, being able to see easier while shooting your weapons and everything. So make sure to have these on affected and wide. First person camera movement is going to be 50%. We do not want any camera shaking, so this is very important if you are a person that likes to move a lot. So make sure to have this on 50%. Now, we're going to my audio settings, and there's not really like nothing major that I want to change here. The only thing that I like to have on for my audio is going to be dialogue volume and effects volume. I just have these on 100. When I'm in game, I want to hear explosions, gun shootings, operators calling out. That's all I want to hear. I don't want to hear any music or anything like that. So dialogue and effects volume should be the only things that you should have on. Now for my audio mix, I actually changed this. I used to have it on headphone bass boost. I put it on sucker punch. So the game is definitely, it sounds a lot cleaner, I think, with sucker punch. Headphone bass boost is still really good. It does help with the EQ and everything with the low frequencies. But sucker punch, I don't know what it is, man. I love hearing sucker punch. It's really good. So I just have it on sucker punch. This is my new go-to audio mix. Some of you might have it on, some of you don't, but sucker punch is really good if you are running a headset or earbuds. So go ahead and throw on sucker punch if you don't have it. And then the only thing that I want to show you here in my sound settings is going to be our hit markers sound. This is going to be classic. If you like the Black Ops 4 hit marker sounds, a lot of people say in my comments, how do you get that? You need to go to your audio all the way down to hit marker preset and put this on classic if you want that old school hit marker sound. Now for my interface, there's not too many things I want to talk about here, but the main thing is going to be our safe area. We want this as small as possible. We want all the action to be in the center of your screen. You don't have to move your head. You know, if you're on a huge TV, I mean, you're probably going to have to do that, but if you're on a monitor, you want your screen to be as small as possible, all the action into the center of your screen. So all you have to do is just look at your eyes, move around your eyes. You don't have to move your head around, so make sure this is as small as possible. This is going to help out a lot. Now, minimap shape, have this on square. We talk about this all the time. You see more of a square, then you do a circle. So put this on square. You're going to see more of the map on the minimap. So if you have a UAV, you have personal UAV or whatever they're called, and if you have a harp, you're going to be able to read spawns, see more people on the map and everything. So you're going to read the map a lot easier with square. Minimap rotation is going to be on. We want to have the rotation of the map. Compass type, I like to have the horizontal. I don't like to see it over the minimap. Now, this is going to be really helpful if people are using jammers, counter UAVs. A lot of people are starting to use those now. So if your radar is jammed up and everything, you can see on your compass on the top of your screen, seeing people if they're on the left of you, the right of you, in front of you. You're going to be able to see where people are shooting at. So that does help out a lot. Personally, for me, player names having on full names, sometimes you get these through doors, walls, smoke screens. Get some free easy kills like that. Sometimes just random names pop up, so it is going to be a lot easier to see people in those types of plays, smoke screens and everything. So have this on player name. That does help out a lot. Crosshairs, this is probably the most important thing that I'm telling you in this video. Centering is probably the most important thing in any first-person shooter. If you're playing Battlefield, if you're playing Call of Duty, Delta Force, Destiny 2, anything with PvP in it, and if you're shooting at someone else, your centering needs to be very important here. And this is the best way that I can tell you how to get better at centering here. So crosshair dot is going to be on. This is going to show us the middle of the screen with a little dot. We are going to make that dot a little bit bigger and add on the largest scale of that, so the dot is going to be very easy to see. Crosshair spread, you don't have to have this on. I like to have it on. It just makes it easier for me to see the center of the screen, so I like to have my spread on. The opacity of my crosshair is going to be at 100%, of course. And then for my color, this is like a greenish, bluish, tealish looking turquoise color. And if you want to know the color code for this, I have it at 00FF99. So any part of the map, if it's bright, if it's dark, you're going to be able to see your crosshairs, and that's going to help out a lot more with centering here. But these are the settings that you should copy down. I'm telling you, it's going to make you a better player. Again, if you're trying to drop nukes, high kill games, increase your KD, trying to get better at the game, these are the settings you need to copy down. But if there's anything in the settings video that you watch and change, let me know in the comments. And if you drop any gameplays, nukes, high kill games, increase your KD, let me know in the comments. But I hope the settings helped you. If you guys are new, and again, if anything helped, make sure hit that sub button, hit that bell, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Now, since we went over our Call of Duty settings, now we're going to go into the PlayStation, change some settings here, and make that a lot better as well. I'm going to be showing you the new sound settings, which I think are the best here, and also, if you are on the Edge controller here, I'm going to show you the best settings as well for Call of Duty, and any first-person shooter, really, I'll be completely honest. But we are going to go to our settings. First of all, we need to make sure that we're on the newest setting, so make sure you do that first. But what we're going to do first, to get to the new sound settings, we are going to the sound, we're going to volume, and we're going to go to the accessibility, click on autofocus. We're going to have audio focus. We're going to turn this on. The focus type I was using is boost high pitches, so that's going to be the operators talking, the footsteps and everything. So in-game, operators talk, in Warzone, in multiplayer, and also a lot of footsteps goes on. So if you're in a competitive game, you're hearing footsteps and everything, this is going to help you be a lot better. Just sound whoring, being able to know where everything is, this is going to be good. Now, I separated my left and right ear headphone pieces, so I put these on both on medium. Now, when I was in game, I was trying these out. I really didn't like strong, and I really didn't like weak. Medium sounded the best for me when it came to footsteps and everything, so I put these both on medium here. And this just, it's going off your ears, you know. People have different hearing and everything, but for me, this worked the best for me when it comes to footsteps, so I just have these on medium. And the focus type, we have it on boost high pitch. Now, for my Edge controller settings here, we're going to our accessories. A lot of people don't know how to do this, so make sure you go to your accessories. We're going to go down to our Duelsense Edge wireless. We're going to custom profiles, and I already named one Call of Duty. Now, the only two things that I changed here is my stick sensitivity Deadzone. We put this on quick, so it's going to help me register movements, omni movement, everything a lot easier. Running, you know, just doing the omni movement and everything. That's very important. So I put my sensitivity curve on quick. This is going to make it a lot easier and smoother for me to start my movement and omni movement. Now, for my trigger dead zones here, we're going to have these on the both. We have from 0 on my left and right trigger and 2 to 30. This is going to make it more sensitive. So with our dead zones we have in Call of Duty, with my dead zones I have on my controller, it is going to make it a lot more sensitive. So it's going to be easier to, you know, you don't have to press as hard on your triggers to start an aim down sight or starting your shooting. But these are the settings that you need to copy down if you're on PlayStation 5. The big thing, I'm gonna be honest, this sound setting stuff is actually wild. So this is like kind of things that people pay for on, you know, PC to get better hearing, which is insane here. But I do hope these settings help. The PlayStation settings, my Call of Duty settings. So if you are new and found this video help you out whatsoever, hit that sub button, hit that bell, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.